𝐅𝐀𝐌𝐈𝐋𝐘, a Ugandan lesbian visibility podcast celebrating queer love and exploring life experiences, representation, and busting queer myths. Hi everyone, I'm Marisa.
Sasha.
Your beautiful Miss Matilda.
Peggy right here.
DJ Amor, your anti-social person.
Hey, DJ Amor. We are going to talk about family meets sexuality. Like your family, your sexuality.
The first time I was introduced to the word sexuality in relation to my family was the day when I called my mom. Hi mom, I'm so sad, I miss you. She's like, Mwana gwego manyi miti wankula. I'm like, what's happening? Kumbe, apparently someone told them I liked girls, and then she was mad about it. So I'm like, okay. I got mad at her for being mad at me for something I didn't make myself to be. So it was so stressing. Like that's the first time I met my family in terms of who I am. Yes, my mom actually outing me out by her own self.
I was at campus, and a roommate of mine, whose auntie was known to my mom, told her auntie that I'm a lesbian. By the way, that's wrong because I'm a bisexual.
Aunties things.
But you know, a certain part of the community doesn't know that one can be bisexual anyway. So she tells the auntie that I'm a lesbian, and then the auntie tells my mom. And it was this big mess. But the first thing I did was ask them, haven't you been seeing my boyfriends? They said yes. I said, then we are good to go. Because I don't know what she's saying. I think she's just making things up for her own reasons. I'm not. The very first time I denied. But then again, when I moved in with my partner after some time, and then they started seeing how we are always going to parties together, we stay together. At a certain point, they started wondering why I'm not getting married. And then I have this person that I come with to, and then my brother one time starts talking to me, and he's saying, you know what? For me, I don't care about the LGBT people. I don't judge them because the society I grew up in, what I know about them was according to what I was told.
Hey, your brother is so cool.
What did they know?
Okay, you've misunderstood me.
Okay.
What he meant was my homophobia is because of the society I grew up in. If I had grown up with those people and no one had taught me to hate them, I wouldn't have hated them. He's like me, I don't care about them and whatnot. And he was telling my partner, so I told my partner, that boy knows. And now it's a way of him asking me to come out. And the rest of the family members, I think, are whispering behind my ear, behind my back. But my auntie, what my auntie does, she usually gives my numbers out to guys to vibe me because I'm ripe for marriage. I need to give birth to kids, and man. She needs to destroy Sasha, that relationship.
So Sasha,
yes.
So it is the community that outed you to that person.
Yes, it was actually a person I considered a friend.
So your auntie gives out your number to whoever cares to date you because they know that you're ripe for marriage.
Yes, actually what she does what she does, every once in a while she will get a very good picture of me and put it on her status. Then all these thirsty men will come into her inbox, and then she will choose who she thinks can make a good husband, and then she will send them my number. And then before that she will call you and be like, so there is this guy called this one, please be nice to him, he's very smart, he's very responsible, he can make a good husband. Yeah, he has a good future.
I have a relation to that.
Hey, money.
Actually, they usually tell me that dress well, put on a long skirt. So this person, he has money, number one. He wanted you'll rule your own situation, you'll rule your own world. All he'll do is just provide for you as long as you produce kids. that is how I've been sold out. And to be sincere, trust me, I wish like I could go for the money thing, but some of us can't go with that. But you know, I've had that situation because they're like, Kacho, omwisiki wena nkaiwe, you don't have anyone. Like first see so and so. So I can relate to that part.
Mwisiki onazara when?
Exactly. No, broken ritual.
What does that mean anyway? Say, when are you giving back? Okay.
So what's weird, my family has never asked me about when are you getting married. Only of course when you go to the village. But now like my immediate family, no one ever says anything because I think they are like Hilda, she's in her own world. Even if I told them I'm like an LBQ woman, they would not be surprised just because I have not found the I don't know what to call it, the right words to tell them and the courage.
Do you even need to tell them?
No, actually, I don't even need to tell them. And you know what?
It's family. There's that need to just know that I am who I am. Can you appreciate me for who I am? I understand my rights on that.
Okay, for there's this thing where they say if you're an LBQ person, it's very important. It doesn't matter. No wabanga mwana wa meka 16 in your family nga yachimanya. Like as long as there's just one person who actually understands you. Inti whereby there's that one person you can just talk to noga man being waited there.
Tabu, you mean your sexuality?
Yeah, tabu, yeah, your sexuality nga bakuwaddeyo nga bakulopye.
When you're outed.
Yeah, when you're outed, there's that one person who at least wabayo omuntu omba nange. Koino kuwulira. I know there's this homophobia thing around us. But imagine in this world of like loneliness, in terms of who you are, if there was that one person who relates with you, nga mufamily yo, whereby no bakulopa agamba mwe fuck off. Oh no, yes, she's a good person. In her bed. It's none of your business. Tolanga cheat would be very nice.
You guys, I don't know what you're talking about, honestly speaking, because I've never felt the need to come out to anyone. Even my brother who is waiting.
What?
And yes, because I feel like, and by the way, the funny thing is, one time I was talking to my grandmother and she told me that before she got married, she actually used to fuck a girl. But even when she disclosed certain information,
Grandma's still alive.
yeah, she's still alive.
Is she hot?
So even when she disclosed that information, I don't feel the need to come out to her. I just feel like, oh my God, I think like Marisa said, I'm not yet ready. I don't have that courage to come out and and I just wish it would happen without me having to do it.
Okay, so when we talk about families, our families meeting our sexuality, is that I have never come out to my family. I did one time, but that's after they had already known about my sexuality. So all my life, I tried to date guys. Yes, that's the shit because that was the new normal, but it didn't work out. But my family, my sisters and my aunties pretended that they didn't know who I was until when they had conversation with my friend, because I first came out to my best friend about my sexuality. So they kept talking about this devil that intruded their family. Then afterwards, my auntie says that she all along knew that there's Chakula Saja in their family, which is a masculine girl in their family, which was okay, of course, definitely meaning me. But how does my sexuality relate to my family? Previously, my family used to characterize me as the wicked one, the crazy one, the unfocused one, the one. I was a bright student.
Yet I feel like you are so humble and sweet. Why would they say that against you?
I think they didn't know much about me until they got to know who I am. So for me, I worked hard to change the narrative. While they were talking about my being naughty, my being unserious, my being unfocused, I was getting focused as a person. Regardless of my sexuality, I knew I had a challenge of me being lesbian, but also I knew I had to do things to prove to my family that I'm a better person. And you know, that's the life we live as LGBT persons in the world. We live to disprove our
yourself
family.
the whole day, the whole night.
Because it's quite important for them to know that you understand me. You need to know me beyond just my sexuality. Because as my family, they knew me as their daughter, sister, as auntie, niece. But then there's that bit I wanted them to understand. Besides me being lesbian.
In other words, Biggie, you wanted them to go beyond them seeing us as stereotypes. Like people name us as stereotypes, yet we're actually individuals, like everyone else.
So they would mention all those things, but my most important thing was to work hard, try to show everyone that I am different, regardless of my sexuality. So I worked hard, but then there's that moment when my family had no choice. I lost my favorite grandmother, who never judged my sexuality, who always loved me for who I am and never judged me for how I presented myself. On my grandmother's funeral, everyone unanimously, we are grandchildren, they chose me to speak on behalf of the grandchildren. You see how important it is. I spoke, and everyone really felt represented by me, who is a lesbian. I have had challenges, different challenges. I can't visit my nieces and nephews, but that doesn't move me, because I believe that there's that one day where my nieces and nephews will understand that they have an auntie who is lesbian, and I am being truthful. And it's hard for each and everyone. All of us have our own ghosts that we are dealing with. But when you have an opportunity to prove yourself, use it. The times that I didn't have an opportunity are those times that I wasn't working. But when I started working, started earning, living on my own, supporting myself, everyone was listening to me. So family will accept you more when you're responsible within the society. We see that because society is part of our family. We have blood relatives, but we have other relatives that they are our relatives within the society that are not necessarily related to us, but we are raised as communal children. So you have to prove to your own family, but you also have to prove to your society. What affects you as a family, as part of your family that is renowned in the society, will affect you within the society. I remember that time when my friend decided to denounce her being lesbian, and then that time when her sisters were abusing her for the fact that she's a lesbian, and they were calling on me, telling her, if you want to be lesbian, go meet your buddies, go meet your friends, Biggie. Go meet the biggies who are lesbians. They talked about the partners that used to come from home. But imagine if that family was just welcoming and understanding their own sister. The society would have embraced her the way she was. But for her, luckily, the society had embraced her masculine. But her sisters had not yet embraced her masculine. And her parents then, because then she was still her and the parents, the mother and the father, used to embrace her sexuality, but her sisters had issues with her. Right now, they are trans man, but before they were lesbians.
Oh man, Vicky, that's deep, man. That's really deep. That's deep. I was going to ask a question, but I'm just going to just say something about it. Do you guys see that it's important to us? I don't know why it's even that important, that if you are different, there's a way you have to work extra harder in terms of who you please, who you talk to, who you go visit,
You guys are talking
who you
of,
do what?
You guys are talking
You have
of
to-
working hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for bumping in. You guys are talking of working hard. And I get it because in this world, if you are... They always say that be a person whereby they just say your name and you don't need an introduction.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that most of us LBQ and queer people actually live by. We struggle for. But then, reality check, as much as they'll preach and preach and preach, there is also that format whereby totuuka weeyagala okubeera. You struggle and struggle nayo Charlie wansi.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we actually work with that. Just as you guys are talking about that, I was thinking about the other person who actually lives on surviving, and they are still unwanted and still disowned and all that. So I was thinking of that thing, that part. I don't know.
That person kind of actually can be a little bit like me. In what means I don't contribute shit. Not like I mean to. Yeah. Not like I mean to.
As a more,
yes. But like this when I cannot. And then they know me. Bamani amor mulalu, amor is like da 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 da. So I put myself up there, like ndinze. This is me. But I'm very helpful. I'm very nice. I'm very supportive. I never go beyond what I should do. So I'm a good person. So my sexuality should never even matter. And also, 1 minute. And also, no one was the same, my dear. There's this thing of where you're gonna do these things for people, and they're going to be never like you get it. There's always going to be that bad mouth on you,
which I've experienced. But I realize that so many of my friends and people around us have need to prove to their families that they are stable. They can stand alone. Let me tell you, when I appear in the village, in my village, there's that kind of respect regardless of my sexuality. Why? It's because I can sustain my life myself. I would not be begging nobody to support me. Which is it? I hear you, Amor, when you say sometimes you do not want to give up your whole because people will still shit you because of your sexuality as family. So if you're financially dependent on people, on your family, they will never accept you. They will always question. They'll always come up with homophobic statements. But if you're financially independent, they will always look beyond your sexuality. I have experienced that. I have experience in that every time I walk into my family. They will respect me because if they want a contribution for anything in the family, I will gladly contribute to that. And that will cause less talk about my sexuality.
And I feel like it's so wrong, but there is nothing we can do about it because you're an LBQ woman and your family will accept you because you're probably supporting them financially. They depend on you, maybe in one way or another. But if you can't provide that, then chances are that they will not accept you, which is it's really painful and it's toxic. But well, at the end of the day, it comes to the society and the community we live in. Personally, for me, because I'm in the closet, I haven't told my family about who I am and everything. But I know my immediate family would not be bothered.
And you don't really have to tell them.
Exactly, but it also comes to where sometimes you want your family to know who you are and accept you. As much as you don't have to, but then it gets to a point where you feel like you have to tell them, like they have to know who you are. But for me, I think my immediate family would not care, because they've talked about a cousin of mine who is bisexual, and they talked, but like it went away. But now the problem are the relatives, the other ones, those ones, aunties, uncles. Those are the people who will talk. But anyway, we've all shared our experiences about our families and and how our sexuality, our family meets sexualities. Our sexualities now, how has it affected you, or how do you deal with it? What has been the way forward for you?
Me, the way forward, yange, the way be who you are, love yourself, falling in place, because if you don't actually love yourself, you will never have the confidence to actually talk to someone about who you are, because of that weight. So love yourself. Ekijja kijje banange n'ekirala ne wogamba omuntu you this and this ngati they will never accept you. They will not. It depends on the person. Era gwogambi. If they are human and they believe in humanity and compassion, they'll be like, yeah, so what? But era osanga omuntu nga mubi era ajja kuyisa bubi. So be vigilant. Be careful of who you talk to about your sexuality, of who you share your secrets with. That's my only advice.
I don't think it comes easy that we meet these people and we actually have to be like careful, because when you find this person who comes in your space, all Iranga, you should give them your all. You just gamble, because you gamble the feeling of what if I'm insecure and they actually fuck me up, or what if I hide out and actually have this beautiful experience. So there's kind of like a dilemma in that. But me as an individual, I'm complimenting me more. And I'm saying that as hard as it may be, honey, self-discovery, achievement, self-love is hard. But if you have the tools to be yourself, that is the best thing ever. Even when everyone is against you, when you are yourself, when you know that you are Matilda, and Matilda is this person, even if the whole world is actually crumbling on you, as long as you are making you happy, because the truth is you're not going to live this life for anyone else besides you. So if you make you happy in this lifetime that you have, that will be good, because it will help you pass through different things. And then also I'm still on that side whereby I'm still among the people who actually hide. Ironically, I'm talking on the mic when actually I'm also in the closet. There's that one person that I want to hide for. Some of us are there. There are those people that who actually are not ready to hear us out and are not ready to lose them. So sometimes just be careful until you're ready to, because I don't have any words to tell you. I don't want to even give you a textbook to eat. At times we just value those people, and until we are ready to let go and put ourselves before them. But in the meantime, just be careful until you actually have a stable proportion and ground to be able to be out there. But at the end of the day, strive to be you, because there's no one like you and no one does things like the way you do. And being you keeps you surviving through this beautiful chaos.
Sorry, wait. Remember who you tell also is a human being. So give them chance to react.
Security. Banange, security. Don't just, yes, we fall in love, but just have that back consciousness of who you're telling stuff.
My sexuality has affected my way of living. I would want to go with my partner to family functions and them being recognized as my partner. I would like to, go out with them in public and everyone respects that we are a couple. And I would like to not call her my sister. I'd like to be able to do things that lovers do in public and not raise eyebrows just because we are a lesbian couple. I would like to
public affection.
Yeah, I would also like to, in relationships you reach and realize the relationship has reached a certain stage. When I would like to walk down the aisle to my partner. I would like to have a wedding, but when it is with my partner, not a guy, just because I want to cover up who I really am. I just feel bad. I would like to have a child and no one is going to ask me who is the father, because my partner is there, so everyone knows that is now the other mommy of the partner. It's like, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you getting something and you have to lie that this person is your sister or your friend. Maybe acquiring properties and it's frustrating.
In-law and cousins,
best friend.
Yeah, it's also frustrating whether when your own friends who are males and brothers are crushing on your girlfriend because they think this person is your sister. What? Please, I would like them to know that this is my partner, so that they know that this person is off limits.
This is my girl.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I would just encourage people to continue being who they are. Just continue being who you are, and the right people will come your way.
I think
for the right person.
I think I more or less agree with Matilda on you just let it flow. when the time is right, it will be right. And as much as I'm still in the closet, of course, when I meet the one, or if I have met the one, because everyone knows I'm seeing someone, I want to introduce that person to my family. Like, I want my family to know that that person is there, so that whether they accept it or not, it's up to them. But at the end of the day, they know that there is this other person. But for now, I will let the process work itself out.
Live your truth, live cautiously. We've been Bakuya Twogele. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to all our socials. Facebook, find us at Farouk2003. Twitter and Instagram, Farouk_Uganda. And on YouTube, Bakuya Twogele.
She said what she said.